Hi everyone, welcome back, and let's see if we can quickly go through a few more layers and then get you saving this hamburger because we have to talk about that too. So I'm going to add one new layer. I'm going to call it lettuce. Although I don't know that I'd ever put lettuce on my burger. I'm going to change the color to a light green. Might be kind of a bright color for lettuce. I'm going to get my brush tool. I might make my brush just a little bit smaller. Again, I'm using the left bracket next to the P, and I'm just going to I'm going to make it look like a kind of a leaf lettuce. I don't know what kind of lettuce this is. I don't know. Maybe it's a big piece of romaine. I'm going to use my paint bucket. So again, I want you to know the brush tool, the paint bucket, have a little bit of understanding about the layers. I'm going to click on that kind of ghost line there to make that go away. And then I'm going to maybe get just a slightly darker green. And I'm going to get my brush again, and I'm going to get a softer edge. And now I'm going to try and paint a little bit and actually make this look like a leaf. Um, so, you can have a lot of fun with this. You can get some reference images. I'm doing this quickly. So, I don't know why that just popped up. So there's my lettuce leaf, and so far so good. I've got the bottom bun, the hamburger, the cheese, the lettuce. Everything's looking basically okay, but I covered up all the holes on the Swiss cheese, and I'd like to see that better. So I want to move my lettuce to the side a little. So in order to do that, I'm on my lettuce layer. I need to go up here to this tool. And this is my move tool. And when I click on it, you'll see it gave me a bounding box, and that shows me everything that's on that layer within that bounding box. If yours doesn't show up as a bounding box, you have to check this up here, show transformation controls, because it will let you move it without the transformation controls. But if you want to resize it or rotate it, you need those transformation controls. Again, yep, I want to apply that transformation. So this little box up here is your friend if you know about it, and if you don't know about it, it's the worst. So I'm going to just kind of slide my lettuce to the side a little bit, kind of give it a jaunty little angle like that. Now I could add a few more layers. I could add bacon, ketchup, mustard, but let's say I've already done that. But now I want to put a top bun. I could draw a top bun, or one other thing I'd like you to know about. Oh, I have to apply this transformation. And this is a really important thing. If this checkbox is up here, it's telling you to either accept what you've done or not. And I'm going to say yes, let's accept it. So now I can go on and I can go to another layer. So now I've got my bottom bun selected. And by the way, I can toggle the visibility here, so I can shut the eye on the hamburger, shut the eye on the cheese, shut the eye on the lettuce, and I just see my bottom bun here. They're still there. I just have closed it so I can't see them. I'm going to go to my bottom bun layer. I'm going to control click or right click on it and get a drop down. I just want to duplicate this layer. I'm going to call it top bun. I'll just call it top bun. And I'm going to say okay. It's always a good idea to label everything. All right, so let's see what happens here. I'm going to turn on my hamburger, turn on my lettuce, and turn on my cheese and my lettuce. And my bun is down here. Well, that's another really nice feature in Photoshop because I can just drag it up to the top, and there it is. Well, now I can't see all that work that I did, so I'm just going to take my bun and I'm going to put it to a jaunty angle like that. I may add some seeds to it. it's getting a little bit more complicated, but I think if there was some shading on it, or maybe I could do a shadow between the top bun and everything else. So one way I might do that is to duplicate this layer. So I'm going to call it the shadow. And I'm going to say OK. So the shadow's up on top. I'm going to move it to the side just so I can see what's going on. I'm obviously going to have to move it underneath. And I think what I'm going to do with this shadow, just to give you one more layer, if you want to do this, you don't have to do this. Image adjustment, go to hue saturation, and go all the way over to dark. So it made it totally black. And I'm going to say, okay, that's what I want for now. I'm going to drag the shadow underneath the bun, and that's sort of what I'm after, like a little shadow like that, but it's not exactly what I had in mind. I need to dial down the opacity, or what we would call transparency, and I make it like this, and you can see it gives just a little bit of the effect of a shadow. And I'm going to say basically that's okay. So for me, basically this is done. I could add a few more layers. I did go out to the web and I got a photo of a tabletop, and I have it right here. Photoshop is very forgiving with dragging. I'm just going to drag it in here, and you can see it put it way up top. I need to say yes, I want to accept it, and then I'm just going to drag it all the way down to the bottom layer. So now my hamburger is on a table, and for now this is as far as I want to go with this demo, but I need to save it. So we haven't done that yet. I'm going to say File, Save, and it tells me it's saved as Hamburger PSD. It's a Photoshop document. That's what I want. You really need to start getting in the habit of paying attention where you save things. I'm going to put it on my desktop, and just know that when you're in the computer lab, anything you save to the desktop will be deleted when you log out. So if you save it to the desktop, you either need to put it on a thumb drive, or email it to yourself, or put it in Google Drive, which is what I recommend. So I'm going to say on the desktop, I'm going to put my Hamburger PSD, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to say OK to this stuff. There we go. And I can do a quick check here. Here is my Hamburger PSD, and again I like this 3-column view because it tells me it's a 47 megabyte Adobe Photoshop file that I finished today at 1:36. The thing you need to know about a Photoshop document, though, is it's not an image file. If I want to put this in my blog, or use it for something else, I need to there's so many choices. I'm going to say I'm going to export as, and let's see what my choices are. I prefer JPEGs. PNG preserves transparency, but up here I'm going to change it to a JPEG, and I'm going to say export all. And again, it tells me I'm going to export a Hamburger JPEG to my desktop. I'm going to export it, and I'm going to double check that it's there. And there it is. There's the JPEG, and that is 3.6 megabytes, and you can see it looks great. So you'll need to take these, and you'll need to save them to your drive, to a thumb drive, email it to yourself. But if you leave it on the desktop in the computer lab, it will be gone, and that will be sad. So have your hand at this. If you've already done it, do a better one, or do something different that shows me you understand layers. Thanks all, and I'll see you tomorrow.